from Wolsk. Hi, BBF, Stonk and Geezer. Nice job on the Boshi run earlier. Sorry you couldn't be there to support, but hopefully this donation will drop me there in spirit. Love you guys. Hashtag the salt. We have a $100 donation from Y2BD138. Shout out to my friend Patrick for being one of the creators of this terribly evil game, as well as BBF for making quick and very informative work of it. Someday I'll make it past the second screen, I promise. We have an $11.01 donation from Matt Suvajian. I think I'm saying that right. Shout out to whoever is behind the decision to make the bars behind the run timer count and represent the time in binary. That's a nice touch. Put this donation of 1101 towards their choice of incentive if you know who is responsible. We'll see if we can organize that. We have a $10 donation from Anonymous. First time donating. My husband and I can't wait to lay around on Saturday and binge the stream. It's one of the greatest joys in life. I'll be up early for the Diablo run. Shout out from the Dalgar Oasis. We have a $50 anonymous donation. First year watching AGDQ after hearing about it from my good buddy. What an amazing community and cause. Smiley face. Blindfolded Superman 64 run for SGDQ. Hey, you know, you've put it out there, Anonymous, but why not make it happen yourself? Think about it. We have a $20 donation from Squid5. I've been watching GDQ since 2013, and it is always so awesome to watch everyone come together for such an amazing cause. We have a $10.99 donation from Skybox Monster. Watching GDQ is the best way to relax after a long shift after work. I couldn't agree more. I wish the best of luck to the runners, and thank you everyone Thank you everyone for putting on an amazing show and supporting a great cause. We have a $15 donation from Ralthix, I think? Ralthix? Sorry if I'm messing that up. AGDQ during my vacation? Yes, please. My mother passed away from pancreatic cancer 8 years ago, and I am more than happy to donate to such a worthy cause. Thanks to all you do, it is an immense pleasure. We have an anonymous $50 donation. Thought it was time I donated. My mother was diagnosed with colon cancer a few years ago, and it came back twice, but since the second time, she has been clear. This goes to the donation reader's choice, as I can't decide on an incentive. Those choices for me have been going towards doing the Super Monkey Ball task run, so thank you for that. We have a $15 donation from Ducks. Been waiting for the I Want to Run the Marathon run all week. Glad it's finally come around. I'll donate an extra $15 both Stonk and Wormy wave to the camera. We have a $500 donation from Chris V with no comment. Thank you for that, Chris. We have a $30 donation from Louis Canuck, and this is in French, so I'm going to do my best. So the French restream, please be forgiving. Un grand merci à toute l'équipe et pour que restream de plus en plus qualitatif, toujours nourri de bonne humeur et de passion. So, sorry if I totally messed that up. We have a $50 donation from Jimless. Hey AGDQ, hello from Australia. Been a fan of AGDQ for years now, but this year it's been given an extra personal reason to donate as my dad was diagnosed with cancer last year. Thanks to early detection and extremely effective treatment, I am relieved to say he is now cancer-free. But I am aware that many people are not so lucky. So I'm donating to help work towards that bright and shiny future where nobody will have to worry about cancer ever again. Keep up the amazing work. That goes to both the runners and the entire GDQ crew. Cheers. We have an anonymous $500 donation. Keep up the good work, guys. We have an anonymous $20 donation. It's 5 a.m., but I had to stay up for the second BBF run. Money goes to Runner's Choice. We have an anonymous $30 donation. Shout out to BBF having mad skills. We have an anonymous $50 donation. Have to donate for that sick marathon run. I've never seen that before, and it's so intense. Awesome job, BBF. This goes to Announcer's Choice. Thank you. All right, we are ready for the Quantum Conundrum run by Blood Thunder.
Alright, welcome to Quantum Conundrum. It's a pretty fun game, as we'll see. It's a little less intense than Boshi, but or I want to be the guy, fan games. So we'll skip through this cutscene and then I'll give you a countdown. So time's going to start. 3, 2, 1, go. So this is the intro. It teaches you how to move, how to do all that fun stuff. So get a little bit of time to introduce ourselves. I'm Blood Thunder. On couch, I have a couple friends. If they want to.
Hi, I'm Jamaican Bacon.
I'm Azrae.
Dr. Teachouse.
So we just have to move forward and press a couple buttons. Our uncle's going to talk about stuff. Plot's really not a thing in this game. It's all puzzle based and stuff.
No.
Just going to get over here and try to jump up real quick. You're going to notice a lot of color shifting.
Oh,
Look it up there. Those represent dimensional shifts, as we'll find out in the game. You may also notice little letters and numbers on the screen, which correspond to those different dimensions as we go further in the game more and more. You may also notice I have W and R bounds, which usually PC runners have WASD as their movement keys. I use ESDF.
That's wrong.
It's not required, it's just what I do.
It is non-standard, but it lets you have a couple more keys for keybinds.
I thought the HUD meant 24 hours a day, world records.
I mean, that's what I do anyway, so yeah. Yeah, so we just have to wait for them to turn on the power. We can proceed. So we'll find out this game's really broken, and you can just put stuff through walls and doors, so we'll just throw that in there.
Would it really be a good puzzle game speedrun if there wasn't an unskippable cutscene at the beginning, though?
Oh yeah, who doesn't love those? At least this one's only a couple minutes. It's about 3. That's nice books to read.
Do me and yourself a favor.
Can you do a fourth?
Head to the front hall. There's
Can
a
do
way
what?
to restart the
Can you do a
power.
fourth book?
I could, but we gotta go.
Last I remember, I was in the new
So I throw this
technology
book down here just to kind of show that it's going to despawn. A lot of items and parts of the map are corresponding to certain areas,
my office over on the left,
which we'll,
you
once
should
again,
be
we'll
able
get
to
into later.
restart the Manor's power grid. Throw that
But
switch there.
basically means you can't keep items from room to room.
Well, that wasn't as
a couple things
effective
here to
as
look
I
at.
hoped. You'll have to
Kitty.
reactivate the generators in each sector in order to lift
Nice
the current
taco.
lockdown. Just take the glove.
So we're going to get this glove that's way too big for our hand.
I wish you could see my facial expression
Grab
right
that.
now, as I am not.
This is going to allow us to change dimensions throughout the
What
game.
you are holding is an early prototype
now we can
of
just
the
kinda stack some books
interdimensional
up.
shift device, or IDS device for short. It's one piece of my latest invention that should come in handy. Get it? You know, because it's a glove. If you can access the generator at the back of the
Yeah, there's a lot of
we might
puns in
be
this
able to
game,
lift the
if you pay
lockdown
attention.
on the rest of the house. It seems as if the breaker did unlock the key. Well, I suppose you could start with
Alright, so there's 3 wings that we have to go through, the blue, yellow, and red wing.
my latest invention as required.
We're going to start in the blue, you can see here.
Adjustments to the
Go blue, yellow, then red.
topics that our family has been studying for
Now we're
several
going to get into some of the mechanics
generations
of the game.
exists
So here's a jetpack,
dimensions.
an ice
I've
freeze
been able
ray
to develop
that we'll
a
never
power
see again.
source that will allow someone to shift dimension.
But there's a little drinking bird that will occasionally hit buttons for us.
Whichever dimension has
We're going to activate a trigger by looking through this wall pretty early.
ability to switch
Look
dimensions.
right at it.
Just be patient. This door is using one of my
And instead of bringing him with us, we're just going to go press the button ourselves.
articulating groove.
So as I go through this door, I'm going to hit a keybind I have to take me back to the main menu, which skips the hallway and between the level. We're going to do that for every single room, so
This is such an early
save
experiment with
about 3
dimensional
minutes of
shifting,
time
so I decided
by
to
just
have a
canceling
trigger
out and going back in.
with the
It's not single segment anymore, though.
Instead of operating a door,
It's 2018.
bird will trigger a dimensional shift.
So anytime you see these little pills or capsules, those are different dimensions, and as I said earlier, the color corresponds to different ones. So
Which
this
in
one's going to be
case
fluffy,
is
which means we can pick up heavy objects.
dimension. In addition to
We
fluffy
actually don't need one here. We just do a little jump.
also rather useful because everything is 10 times.
So this room's actually on a cycle, so you gotta
It is in fact a
make sure you do
portable
things just
magnetic
right.
Mass to electricity converter.
You can put the drinking birds on the buttons there, and it activates certain cycles in the puzzles, turning things off and on at a set pattern.
Later on, we'll have direct control of when to switch through.
Yeah, if you see a little icon pop up on the screen like I have for my R right now, it's a little cloud. That means I can control when I switch dimensions. Alright, so now we're gonna get kind of some crazy stuff.
Dolly, dynamic object linear ligation interface.
We just gotta wait for it to throw out a safe.
Device.
Nice
I
room.
like my house just
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
so I decided to add functionality to her. To
A little messy, but okay. So we're actually gonna go ahead and clip the safe out of bounds. So we're doing some object hovering here, which I'll explain in just a moment. Sorry if you are prone to flashing lights.
Basically, by switching between fluffy and normal dimensions, you can go from grabbing the safe and then standing on top of it and jumping.
Yeah, sometimes this takes a while to get clipped through. There we go.
You can also only grab safes while in Fluffy.
So now we're just gonna clip out.
Where'd that book come from?
So anything that's not a safe is a little tricky to object hover with. Just need to get a little further there.
Yeah, the one safe in this room we'll be using for an out-of-bounds object cover, so we have to make do with something else here.
There we go.
There we go.
So we take the safe that we clipped out earlier. Ignore this room. We actually don't need to open the door and go through. We can just hit the checkpoint behind it and then go ahead and skip through.
In case you're wondering, you return to that. Please say that you don't
So I'm going to wait until I get to the next room and describe object hovering a little bit more. But I'm just going to go ahead and go through this room pretty easily. Object hovering may look semi-intentional, but it's really not. It breaks the game wide open. So essentially, you can't grab the safe while you're jumping on it in Fluffy. So you need to switch between dimensions as you jump and grab. Here we're going to break this pad so we can keep this door open.
Yeah, but if there's a heavy object on a pad and you switch between fluffy and normal dimension fast enough, it'll stick it open.
You can also use object hovering horizontally to gain a lot of speed, which is usually faster than walking if you can do it right. So here we're just going to go way up. Also, object hovering this way allows you to keep an object with you where you may not have one otherwise. So I'm just keeping safe from the first room all the way to the end.
Safes are definitely the MVP for this game.
Yeah, they're pretty safe.
You've moved on.
Alright, so now we're getting into the second dimension, which is heavy, which is basically the exact opposite of fluffy. It's represented by red, which you'll see here in just a second.
Is in direct opposition to the fluffy dimension and will make things 10 times heavier.
So all I'm doing with those is setting up safes to be put in the right spot over here. I'm gonna try to skip the first set though.
Nice.
Saves a bit of time.
On the shy side, give me some time to get used to it.
So now we start actually getting both fluffy and heavy, and we can change in between them.
That red battery will provide enough energy to enable the IDS device.
I'm gonna try to keep
wide
this safe
heavy dimension risks in this area.
and just use it to break through here. Alright, it's going pretty well so far.
All right.
So another really nice property of heavy is it can block red lasers, which will kill you, or just destroy an object. It's a little random. So I'm looking for the edge of here to be able to stand on it. I messed that up. Okay. As long as we can get on any of these, we'll be fine. There we go.
I came across Ike some time ago, and he decided to follow me back to the manor. Not half bad.
So this is another strat that kind of looks intentional, but it's really not. They didn't account for this. So you can just block the laser by throwing this box up and switching to heavy.
So, he looks like a horrible mutant.
And in the next room, we're gonna try to get an out of bounds trick. So when you use dollies, which are cloning machines, you can actually grab the item before it fully comes out and keep it out of bounds. So hopefully if I did that right, I have a safe out of bounds on top of this. There we go. Now we can just hover. All the way over here.
Oh, I really wish Ike would do that.
There's Ike again. It just kind of pops up from time to time. Pretty cool.
This is a compression platform.
Kinda looks like a
which
wombat.
uses photoelectric energy to function. Like a spring, the energy pulses below the platform excite the molecules in the air.
So there's a little bit of time where the button will try to send a stream of electricity, so you can kind of abuse that for some doors.
Yeah, if you grab the object on a pad quickly enough, you can take it through the door before the door closes all the way.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of very similar tricks, just used in a different way. So once you kind of know how one trick's done, you can figure out the rest, but it's a little different. So here we're going to break the scales. Oh, that's pretty nice. So you can trick the scales to thinking that they're being weighed down and then just move the object to the other one. Like I said, it kind of works different in each level, but it's the general premise.
I was quite the champion at shot
Makes
put.
it very convenient.
The electromagnetic microreactor,
Now we're going to play some basketball.
if you're so inclined, will all require a conductive polymer.
Nice.
I also
Kobe.
happen to be on the basketball team as well.
Cool.
Ah, it went over.
Shot.
This is probably the hardest one in the game.
Hooped it.
There we go. See if we can get a dunk.
Not quite.
Let's go for 3.
Well played.
So coming up in this next level, it used to be one of the hardest rooms to do consistently. You had to unload the room and then reload it back in right here.
But it looks like you're going to have to go through the object distribution.
Relatively recently, there was a startup we found
This
in
is
the community. By we, I mean
the right
not
place
me.
for you to be.
We're just going to take this, throw it through the wall. Hopefully it stays. I need to get down here without dying. So chairs are not great for this. That was really close. Where's it going? That's gonna kill him. Yeah, as I
Chairs
said
are not
before,
rough.
anything that's not a safe isn't really great to do this on. It's not gonna work. You need the chair to be just the right way. There we go. We'll make it eventually. There we go.
All right.
Nice.
Alright, so this is the last level in the blue wing. We just got to turn on the generator. We're just gonna skip most of the puzzle. Just weigh this down. Let's make it a little fun.
Great. One
So
down.
usually there's a cutscene here, but once I get the checkpoint, I can just go ahead and back out and go back to the main lobby. So that's it for the blue wing. It's one of the funner areas, but coming up next is the yellow wing, which is very technical, but we got some time for donations.
All right, we got $10 from Psycho Ripper. Wishing good luck to my good friend Blood Thunder. Sad I can't be at the event this time around. Shout outs to all the runners and staff putting this together. Also shout outs to Cabbages. They are pretty cool too.
Then perhaps I can find a way
Yo,
out
thanks
of
for
here.
chip.
This is getting rather ridiculous.
We have $20 from War Dude 22244. Good luck on the run, BT. Great seeing my favorite speedrunner at another GDQ. Love to watch you run QC. I'm looking forward to National Cabbage Day soon. Here's to a great run.
Yo, thanks, War Dude. If you guys didn't know, National Cabbage Day, I believe, is February 17th?
You gonna do another 24-hour stream?
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see how the cabbages are doing this year.
If only you could see the look on your face right now.
We have $50 from Jovo. Hey BT, it's Jovo. Congrats on getting Portal into GDQ. Shoutouts to the Fun Cannon and Chops on the Couch. Wish I was there this year, but maybe next time. Good luck with the run.
Yo, thanks, Jovo. So in yellow, we get slow-mo, which is kind of the opposite of what you want on a speed run, but there's some pretty cool things you can do with it.
Sometimes the
I'm just
act
gonna
of
jump across
slowing
here.
things down can reveal the correct path.
And this is where we take a turn. Just gonna jump up here. Get out of bounds real quick. Make our way back. Oh no.
What did you do?
Yeah. So, going out of bounds, you have to unload the room.
In case you were
I should just
wondering
restart
about the
checkpoint, but that's fine.
transportation tubes around the
You
manor,
unload
they
the
are
room,
filled
and then
with
you
the
load it
same
back in by
science
coming
juice
back
that is
down.
in all the IDF
And so
factories.
sometimes you can
I
just
was
get
able
stuck
to
in the level
extract the
or just
base
click back in
material
bound
for the
entirely.
science juice from a
As I mentioned earlier, things are tied to a specific area, and if you leave that area, which sometimes is still technically in that area, you just unload stuff. You can read more donations.
If only you could see the look on your face right now.
All right, we have a $50 donation from Vegeta FH1. Hey GDQ, greetings from Ireland. Good luck to Blood Thunder on his run. May RN Jesus smile upon you. Let's all kill cancer together. 25 to Blood Thunder's choice, and 25 for the announcer. Your voice is awesome. Oh, thank you.
Not entirely sure where Desmond is. Sometimes the act of slowing.
We have a $300 donation from Tarian Chantos. Let's remember to appreciate all the amazing runners who are donating their time to put up such a great show.
All right, try us again. There we go. So from here, all we have to do is get to the end. Do a nice little jump. A little too early. There we go. Easy peasy first try.
Have I mentioned that the manor requires a lot of ventilation?
So there's just another level that kind of introduces you to slow-mo. It's pretty boring, so you can just read more donations for this.
But sadly, it's rather unavoidable.
All right, we have a $20 donation from Cy4L. Been watching GDQ for a long time now and loved every game, every moment, every person as well. You guys are really amazing for doing this about twice a year for so long. You all are awesome.
That is a botched experiment of mine called the awkward step off now.
We have $20 from Sendalen. Silver Year Watcher, first time donating. My aunt had breast cancer a couple years ago. Still remember how glad I was to hear she was in remission. Hopefully, this can help someone else's family member get the same news. We have a $30 from Vinin. First time donating, thanks to all the great runners. We have $100 from Wallaber.
Okay.
Long-time watcher, first time donating. It's so fun to watch the strategies, and for such a good cause. The Mario Sunshine 120-star run yesterday was awesome.
So one more little ride here, so another donation or two.
All right, we have a $20 donation from Igarara. My grandmother passed from cancer just over a decade from the time she was first diagnosed. She gave us many, many good years because of experiments and research funded by charities and events just like this one. I just hope we can give to some other child out there a bit more time with their family too.
All right, so that's it for that. Back to the action. So it's a pretty cool strat that I really don't understand how it works, but it does, so see if I can get it. Okay, one more. Like I said, it just kind of works every now and then, so.
It looks like you could use a little more time with that converter switch.
Yeah, doing with this with smaller boxes is especially finicky.
Alright. Give it one more try. There we go.
All it
First
takes is
try.
that last one.
It's always last try. Even if it's first try, it's still last try.
Alright, we'll make this room quick to make up for it.
I was bored all day and decided to play a game of catch with myself. You
There we go.
in the slow motion dimension.
Yeah, so in that room before, where I was having trouble.
I believe that's safe.
You like can't look up,
21,100.
but you also need to not look too far down so you can actually use the safe or the box on the scale. It's kind of weird. So these rooms kind of look really short, but there's actually a lot of puzzles in them. We just bypass it all.
Yeah, combining slow motion and fluffy dimension, you can throw a safe, go into slow-mo to jump on top of it, and then ride it.
Programmed not to let any non-organic foreign objects.
So here I'm just gonna abuse the fact that the scale's not completely covered in lasers. It's way down the very edge. We're done with this room. I'm gonna try be fast here and grab a battery. Okay.
Apparently, this unit also needs.
Saves a couple seconds if you can. Not a huge deal. So we're gonna keep the safe with us. Don't really need it, but once again, it just makes things easier.
I'm not entirely convinced of your aptitude to handle this situation. Oh, well, that's
After this room, things kind of get a little bit more technical than what you have to do. That's fine. Just gonna land on it. Physics, how do they work?
I know the feeling.
This used to be one of the manor's libraries.
So you may notice it has a very Portal feel to it, and a lot of people compare it to that. It's because Kim Swift, who was one of the developers for Portal, actually left that team to come work with Airtight Studios to make this game. So a lot of similarities. Don't know why that one works. It just does.
You just push a button 4 times. That's the same as pushing 4 buttons 1 time.
Yeah, you can put one stack of books on pressure or a scale 4 times, 2 on 2, or 4 on. I press it down once and it works. So here we're just gonna take this back. We don't need slow-mo here. Just put it right here, and this should stop the laser. Which you're supposed to have heavy to keep these saves in play, but we don't need it. So we're just gonna sit here for a second. If you got a donation to read, you can.
All right, we have a $10.80 donation from Box of Dust. Had to donate during the Quantum Conundrum. Loved game and the theme. Then I flip a switch and fluffy and everything plush and sweet and soft. I think I flip a switch and heavy and everything crashed to the ground from out of the air. Or so I've heard.
Spoilers, dude.
It's a pretty good song. So in this next room, we don't have Fluffy, but we need to basically extend ourselves further horizontally. So we're going to slide off of a small box, which you're not supposed to be able to stand on. First, we need to get up top here. Gonna get to safety checkpoint. There we go. If you don't land up top, you can do a smaller little boost. Takes more time, but yeah. Just do it the right way, you don't have to worry about it. This one's a simple object hover up top.
Apparently, you feel you don't need an advanced degree in robotics to operate that.
Alright, so this is one of the crazier rooms to do. Gonna take Desmond with us. We don't really need him, but it gives us a checkpoint when we get over here, which is kind of nice.
This area is
So I'm keeping the room in slow-mo so I can line up a chair that comes out of this dolly. So I'm gonna right it a little bit, and then we're gonna jump off of it to a different way.
I'm so disappointed you're not doing the iron strats here, man.
Yeah, you can actually just not even use slow-mo and just fly across, but it's a little harder to do. So with object hovering or just riding something that's flying out of a dolly at high speeds, you can jump off of it, like keep your momentum and just fly across the stage. It's pretty nice.
Ah, yes. There's an electric converter up there.
Well, that was really close. Had a lot of trouble with that in practice. I don't know why. It's really easy. So once again, we're just going to take this and just fly to the end.
Well, all right then.
Yeah, sometimes the dialogue in this game just matches up so well with what we're doing.
Alright, I believe you're gonna get this strat.
Yeah, there's a trick in here I'm going to try to go for once. It's pretty cool and saves about 30 seconds, but I haven't practiced it nearly enough. We'll see. Alright, nope. So you need to stand in that corner and reload checkpoint before you actually get the checkpoint. And it'll unload this room as you spawn back in. You can just object over to the end, but you can play some basketball. I don't mind. Oh, I missed. You can read some donations here.
All right, we have a $300 donation from Anonymous. I donate every GDQ. Recently, a good friend's father passed away after a long fight against cancer, so here's to ending cancer. Donation goes to Announcer's Choice. And we have a $20 donation from Zarko. Hey, AGDQ, loving the event. Glad to finally be attending. Really enjoying all of the runs and getting to meet all the runners when I can. And we have a $50 donation from Blinks. Super excited for Hyperlight Drifter coming up. Lost my dad to cancer a while back. Always good to see the helpers.
Got a little too excited in that object hover. Alright, went in. Cool. They're not really hard throws, but you don't want to miss one. It's pretty painful. There's not too many rooms left in Yellow Wing. We got 2 short ones and then pretty fun and crazy level. So, like the level before, we're just going to weigh this down at the edge. Let's bypass all of that puzzle. So I could be safe on this next level and grab slow-mo, but, you know.
Why would you ever be safe?
Why
know
would you
where we
ever
are?
go slow?
It's a marathon, we gotta go for it.
You're going to want to retrieve another battery first.
Dang.
So there's a very precise timing that you can jump on the safe as it comes out and jump on top of the dolly. But if you miss, you really don't have a way to save it. Sometimes you can get lucky and jump all the way
You're
back,
going
but
to want to retrieve another battery first.
let's try this again. There we go, second try. I mean, first try. Alright, as long as I get this next level right, I'm fine. So you're gonna try to conserve a lot of momentum and just fly across this first part.
This probably isn't the safest place you've been this week.
There we go. This isn't a level you can really speed up, you just don't use slow-mo. That's a little too far there. So now we need to hit 2 of these switches on either side of this laser beam of death tunnel. Alright. Now we're just going to object hover to the generator and turn it back on. If we look down, you'll notice some missing textures there. Make it fun again. Standing on it doesn't actually help the speed at all. Rotates at the same velocity. Alright, so that's it for yellow. All we have left to do is the red wing and then the very end of the game. So
That was sufficient. Enough.
we're going to read some more donations as we get over there.
Your task is almost.
All right, we have a $20 donation from
And then
Endevin,
you can finally
or a
leave
drinking
my
bird,
home
except
in a
it's
state
far more
resembling a
advanced.
train wreck. don't you make your... It's upstairs. Perhaps you
We
might
have
come
a
across some
$30
clues
donation
to help
from
you
Lord
guess
Snubby.
this quandary.
I make a point to donate every AGDQ since my Nana died to cancer
yes.
almost 2 years
This
ago.
is the
Keep up
last
the
in
great
a
work and
continuous
go
series of
fast.
associated demands.
Donation goes to announcer's
As you
choice.
can see, the
All right, now that we're in the Red Wing, we get
gravitation is
anti-gravity or
directly
reverse gravity, whatever you want to call it.
To
It's
use
pretty
the
cool,
codes
but
that the
a lot of what you would use it for, we use with object hovering anyways. So we're just going to take Desmond with us.
the manner, in fact,
Instead of being on
upside down.
the cycle it wants us to be, we just skip it and drop him back down here.
You've certainly gotten rather adroit. I believe that opened the hatch over there.
This next level is all about just jumping off of stuff and anti-gravity. Nothing
There
too
should be another
special.
drinking bird
You can read
on
another donation if you have one.
periodic articulating groovy day in that room influencing this area. I believe... Can I be perfectly honest here? I really have no idea why I set this area up.
Alright, just one last jump to the door. There we go. Red Wing has a lot of long levels that we'll get into that aren't really broken at all. But there's a couple short ones here that we're just gonna break
It
on
seems as
through.
if the timer on Desmond doesn't give. Only there was
Save just enough time to grab this battery before it closes. And then hopefully if we get lucky, this is not too far away. Every now and then you can get lucky and grab the box before it goes into heavy. Saves like 4 seconds. Alright, so going up and the level after this are like two of the shortest in the game, if you do it right. This one takes about 6 seconds. It's pretty crazy. There's a whole lot of IL runners for this game. Zamanzo, Fatal, are two of the big ones. They don't do a whole lot of full game runs. We're gonna break the door real quick. But shouts to those guys and the whole QC community. We have a Discord if you want to check it out. Go to speedrun.com and search up Quantum Conundrum. I believe it's on the forum.
memories of this room when I was about your
If
age.
you want to go ahead and break
It
that, you
used to
can.
be the parlor.
But now we're just gonna wait for this box. Conveyor belts are slow, but there's not a whole lot you can really do here.
Oh, nice.
There's like again. So you may see this huge puzzle that looks like a maze. We're gonna skip right to the end of it by clicking this through. Hopefully that's close enough. There we go.
Good going on.
Makes it way easier.
Reverse engineering that.
Good job reverse engineering that wall.
Oh yes. This area, unfortunately.
Alright, so another cool little trick you can do with anti-gravity is hit your head. And that will redirect what you're standing on to fall a certain way, and then you can just fly across stuff like this. Make it real easy. Through the Glass Flooring is a very simple stage for the run, but always find a way to mess it up. So we just got to make 2 jumps. There we go. Just had to show off that I messed it up. There we go. Another jump there. And then 1 to the door. There we go.
Oh,
First try.
timing.
First try every time.
Perfect timing.
Can you hear me?
Alright, so it's another basketball stage. We're going to kind of break this one though.
Hey, remember
We're going to use the
those
same goal twice. So first we need to go ahead and put this one down.
Same thing.
So the trigger for that's not actually going to go away, so we can just go ahead and activate it again.
That's good enough.
I'm taking another basketball, I guess you can call it. So I can object over here and just skip walking. Who wants to walk? I don't.
Like how the game meets you skipping one of the basketball hoops with, yeah, that's good enough.
So it's another really long level that you just kind of go through. So if you have donations, go for it.
All right, we have a $55 donation from Sandalphon. The real conundrum is why John Delancey isn't voicing more game characters. He puts the Q in Quantum.
I once knew someone who retrofitted a laser pointer
That's a good
to achieve
point.
a focal point of less than 1/1000th of an inch.
We have a $10 donation from Celicam. Yo Blood, always love watching you speedrun. May your skips work out in the end. Donation goes to Runner's Choice.
Yo, think so. So I just have to guide this through the conveyor belt. Nothing too special.
Well done.
Got time for more donations.
Yes.
All right, we have a $30 donation from Tower Tau. All these multiple dimensions reminded me of TaskBot, so I'm putting my donation towards TaskBot-assisted Super Monkey Ball.
Just about at the end here. It's going to open this door, which gives us Fluffy. And we can take the safe. Just go ahead and get out of here. Maybe.
Well, at
Alright,
least
flipping
we
out to
say
another
it's
really
closer
easy
to
just
the lab.
platforming level. But once again, I somehow find a way to mess up these jumps.
Heads up. It's
I'm going to try to skip some of these jumps by just taking the safe with me. Alright, we're going to break the door.
converter should be up there.
That opens the second door. There we go. Not too bad. Entering kind of the last half of the Red Wing. Robot Transfer is
Maintenance bay, I see.
one of the levels every runner hates the most. Because
Like a lot of things in
it's
life,
basically an auto-scroller, but it can mess up randomly for no reason. And it takes a long time to fix it. So I jumped at that wall to load in the next room cycle. And I'm not even going to solve the room I'm in. I'm just going to go ahead and start the second one. So I'm looking at this safe over here to get it lined up.
yes, slightly more complex.
And that actually solves the room I was just in. Now we have this one set to go.
To only consider certain tasks,
So yeah, sometimes safes will just go flying across the room. It's really weird.
processing capabilities.
It happens more often in the next room I'm going into, but
On to the next
hopefully
room.
it's okay this time. You know, marathon luck. I've also seen this robot not come out at the right time, which is pretty fun. It looks like it's okay.
I am rather
All we have to do is ride this to the door. And we're good. Alright, cool. Another pretty quick level coming up here, and then we can sit back on a couch and relax.
be safe now.
So I'm gonna ride that right to the end. Easy peasy.
You'll need You'll have to initiate the room's boot sequence.
Makes a pretty good joke in this area.
Watch out. That's a big one.
It's not gonna do. Oh, I guess not.
I suppose you could call that
There he
couch
goes.
surfing. Just remember
I
you
get
have
it.
access to heavy dimensions.
That guy got it. So here we just kind of use anti-gravity and a mixture of others to get through these lasers. Nothing too amazing. If you got another donation, you can go ahead.
Sure. We have $150 from That Spotted Cat. What better game to break physics in than a physics puzzle? Love watching all these wonderful games being broken. My dad's recovering from lymphoma right now, still going through care, taking chemo. So donating to the prevention of cancer is something that touches me personally, as I'm sure it does many others.
Watch it.
Alright, the plan find a little safe there. You can jump off earlier and just fly to the end, but there's a chance of dying. Let's not do that. Another quick couple levels coming up here. This one's actually one of my favorite levels casually, because it gives you the option of picking what dimension you want to start with, and then the room changes depending on which one you choose. But since this is a speed run, we just choose the fastest, which is Fluffy. Which allows us to take this and let's go ahead and break the door. Let's see if he gets over there. There's also a fan here, so you have to be careful. There we go.
Retracing steps. That's what.
This is a little dangerous, but shouldn't be too bad. There we go.
Ah, you should see what I can do with a toaster in 4 minutes.
Once again, we're just going to fly to the end and break the door.
Make that
And after this, we have one level in the Red Wing left.
well, that's certainly a problem, isn't it?
So I'm actually going back into slow-mo dimension here instead of normal, because it has a lot shorter of a frame window to get that trick to work.
I've never had much stock in
And so this level is actually affected by the frame rate. Although the game hard caps at like 62 frames and we play at 60, it's really weird. So unless you have like a 144 hertz monitor, you're not going to experience a bug.
That's certainly putting a noose.
So we need to break that window and then get a good safe. That looks okay. So I line up the safe so I can just go ahead and fly across this pit. There we go. It's pretty decent. I'll try to skip using Fluffy here if this stays up. So normally I'd just go and grab Fluffy, but you bounce safe off your head. Oh, that's close.
No, that's using your head.
Do not try this at home. Nah. Close.
Grip safe.
Well, you
Wasn't so safe after all.
start the alternator.
That's why I didn't major in physics. Let's go ahead and put this over here. So this one we don't need to use Fluffy for, we can just use reverse gravity, and it sticks on there for some reason. Alright, so that's all 3 wings. Now we have 2 rooms left to do. It's the Uber IDS, which is kind of like the powerhouse of the building. Also,
That
nice
should have done
paintings.
it. It seems as if there's still a problem causing a lockdown.
So now we're going to go to the top of the house and go through this window.
The world. Uh-oh. Look up!
A couple of months ago, we found a way to actually clip into this area early by using the research and development area, which was not shown in the run. But unfortunately, you just can't complete the game because things aren't loaded in properly. But it almost cut the run in half. So it's another really cool level where it gives you all of your dimensions and then it's going to slowly take them away. Unfortunately for the game, it leaves us with Fluffy until the end, which means we're just going to skip everything.
Wait, confounded principles and their uncertainties. It seems as if not again. Not to put any undue pressure on you, but you really need to pick up the pace a bit.
So in this next area, there's a
Courageous.
little trick you can try to go for. I haven't really gotten it that much, but I'll try it.
You can do it. I believe in you.
Looks like you're in it
So
for
I need
the
to
long
grab
fall.
the suitcase,
Sorry, a little tense.
and I need to
Well, on
pass
the upside,
for
this
the
ventilation
lasers.
shaft leads to the same place as the
Right there.
elevator. On the downside, you might not survive the
I
fall.
don't think that's going to do it.
That. If you make it, I'll need you to restart the Uber IDS.
No.
It's like the
So if you
Guardian
do it
way,
right, you just skip loading in the rest of the tunnel, and so you fall out to the end pretty soon. It saves, I think, 35, 40 seconds. It's pretty cool, but there's not a whole lot of room for error, and you don't want to go back and keep trying it. Alright, so this is the final area of the game. Got to turn things back on.
You're alive.
So I'm going to stand down here because there's a spawn point right behind me, and Ike will always spawn behind you with the battery.
Strange.
So as soon as I hear the word strange, I can turn around and grab it. And this is checking for how many batteries you put into the machine, not how many are currently in it. So I'm just going to fill it up 4 times or whatever, at least 4 times. This also spawns in a lot of bikes.
Excessive science juice flooding.
And if I pull this back out, we can get our dimensions back early. And time's going to come up here in a second. Fly to the end, and time. Oh yeah, and we died.
Dang, dude. Bad hit.
Just kidding. Here's
Oh, he didn't really die.
not a whole lot of improvement.
So yeah, we turned on the Uber IDS, and then we opened a dimension to where our uncle's somewhere, and now we're there, and he's back. It's weird.
And I'm going to have to tackle this.
But I'll give you guys a little taste of the credit song, but if you want to hear it more, you can either play it yourself or just come watch my stream when I get back home, because I'll be doing this game a whole lot. There's any % all collectibles. It's a pretty fun game. Like I said, if you want to learn how to run it or just talk about it, you can join the Discord we have.
Then I flip a switch and fluffy is everything. Plush and sweet and soft.
There you go. And one last thing. Like makes the final appearance. All right, that's it for Quantum Conundrum. Thank you. Thanks to my couch, everyone in the community. It's fun. That's it.
And thank you, Blood Thunder, for that amazing run.